Welcome back, viewers. In the last 2-3 videos, we have seen how to do the expert install of SpiralLinux using the SpiralLinux Builder ISO. But we had encountered issues while installing the KDE Desktop using the Paxel as well as Synaptic Package Manager. Because there was some issue, we had logged the call with the SpiralLinux development team, but they replied that the issue is upstream. It belongs to Debian. Maybe the Debian repos were unavailable when we tried to use the Synaptic Package Manager as well as Paxel. So that is a issue because the development team run the task cell on their machines and they were successful, but we could not do it. Maybe there was some issue. I also was doubtful about the repo availability. So I changed, if you remember in the video, I changed the repo server from main to India server and again back to the main server. So two times we tried the Taskell as well as the Synaptic Package Manager. In fact, I showed you the 4 ways to install the KDE Desktop in the Synaptic Manager. So we did 4 attempts in the Synaptic Package Manager. We tried to install the standard KDE Desktop. We tried to install the full KDE Desktop. We tried to install the KDE Desktop from the KDE Desktop section of the Synaptic Package Manager. Then we did some customized selection of the KDE packages for the install, but that also didn't go successful. So then what I did is I downloaded the KDE ISO. So there is a separate ISO for each of the desktops available in Debian. So the SpiralLinux has those desktops as a separate ISO. So I downloaded the SpiralLinux Plasma ISO and it has been installed as a virtual machine. So today we will spin up this virtual machine and check out the SpiralLinux desktop. So it is very different from other KDE desktops available in other Linux distros as well as Debian. So let us check out what is the difference. So the latest 5.18 kernel is available. This is from the Backports. So it has got lot of goodies. So since last few kernel versions, there is lot of development work that has been uploaded to the kernel and then released as a new kernel version. So different the support for the different hardware is gaining more and more uh, speed. Of course, there are some very good enhancement like the uh, C C compiler has been upgraded, then the C standard has been upgraded. So a lot of different things are going on. So it is a very exhaustive list. I cannot enumerate all the changes that are undergoing in the Linux kernel, but you can watch them from the Linux kernel organization or foundation. So maybe one video we'll make on that topic also. So now let us come back. We are now on the login screen of the SpiralLinux KDE Desktop. So this looks exactly the same as in Debian. So there is no change to the login screen in SpiralLinux. So you have got the sleep, restart, shutdown, and other option. So here you can type the name of the any other user that you have configured and you can log in with the username. So of course we don't have other user, only one user is there right now because it's a fresh install. But there is some very good tweaks to the KDE desktop done by SpiralLinux developer. So that I will point your attention in that direction in this video. So this is the KDE desktop. Now on the first glance, you can see here the language support has been added. So in the typical KDE desktop of Debian, there is no language support shortcut on the main desktop. So here the language support has been added. So if you click on it, you can set the system language, you can install the system language pack. So it has been made very easy for the new users. But if you want to do it in Debian, either you have to use the terminal or go inside the settings menu of the KDE desktop. So here, say let us install some language packs. So you have to input your sudo password. So this opens up the Synaptic package manager. So it has been made easy. Now you can see all the language packages, and directly you can choose between the language packages, and then you can install it. So while it is opening up, now let us draw your attention to this. So this is the workspace manager. So workspace manager is not there. Okay. Workspace manager is not there on your typical KDE desktop of Debian, but it is there here in your SpiralLinux KDE desktop. So this is one another visual addition which is very helpful. So now the package manager is now showing us the different language packages that is available. So first in the list you can see the Firefox language packs are there. If you scroll down, then you will see the language correction or auto spelling check Hunspell library is there. So Hunspell packages are there. Some Islamic menus are there. So different applications having their language packs are shown here. Then you have got the LibreOffice language packs. So we will have to search for the system language packs. So here you can see the Thunderbird language packs are there. So different applications having their own language packs are shown here. So if you want, you can install any of those. So here you can see debconf I18N. So this is the full international support for the debconf, that is the Debian conference package. So it has been installed. So I think nothing is there for us to install. We can check, we can shut this down, but I just wanted to show you how the things are tweaked in SpiralLinux. So already we have got the English, US English option that was installed during the installation. So it is good for us. So nothing to be changed. So I will close this down. So now this is the bottom panel for the KDE desktop. So you got this application menu, then this is the Dolphin file manager, then you got the Firefox ESR, then you got this clipboard contents. This is the minimize all windows button. Then you have got the volume manager. So here you can change the audio volume and also tweak the line out line in volume. Then you can control the volume for the individual applications that use audio and video. And then you have got the network manager. Then you have got the close pop-up button, and in the status and notification shade you got the notifications night color control. So here directly you can control the night color, but I think it is not working right now, or what? Let me check out. So this is blanks. It should populate the night control. Maybe after doing the settings, once in the settings app, it will come up here. So we'll check that out. Then you have got the battery and brightness control, allow automatic sleep and screen lock-in. Okay. So I think we will have to once tweak the system settings, then only this will properly show in this menu. Okay. And then at the top right, bottom right, it is the time date function. Now let us check out the Firefox version, because if it is taking the benefit of backports channel, it should be the latest, at least 101 or 102 I'm expecting. I think it is 102. Let us check. No, it is still 91.10.0 ESR. So this is the extended stable release version. So it is not taking the benefit of the backports right now. So maybe after doing the update in the Synaptic package manager, it might get updated. So let us check that when we do check the settings. Now let us check out the graphics, what applications are there in the graphics section. So You got the Gain View, KDE Image Viewer, Color Paint is there, LibreOffice Draw, Ocular Document Viewer, and Scanlight Image scanning application. In Internet section, you got the Firefox ESR, Pidgin Internet Messenger, Thunderbird, and Transmission Qt is there. In multimedia, I got the Clementine music player and the VLC media player. Office, you got the fax address book, HP fax address book, HP fax utility, LibreOffice Calc, Draw, Impress, LibreOffice Suite, LibreOffice Writer, and the Ocular Document Viewer. In the settings, we will come back in the last. First, let us check out I think we will check out the okay. So anyway, let us go in sequence only. Settings is Grub Customizer. So we will check this out. Then you got the onboard settings. So the onboard on-screen keyboard is there. You got the software and updates. You got the Synaptic package manager. You got the system settings. You got the Wacom tablet finder. In the system, you got the discover root, software center root. So if you click on this, the discover will open as a root. So you will be logged in as a root in the discover. Then you got the discover software center without the root. You got the Dolphin. You got the GDB package manager, Grub Customizer, HPLib toolbox, HTOP is there, KDE partition manager, console, system guard, system log is there, K-Wallet Manager, Multi-Writer, Synaptic Package Manager, Package Manager. Okay, so now this Discover root is not available in the standard Debian KDE Desktop. So you will have to log in as a root to use it as a root. But here there are two versions are available. So you can click on this Discover root icon. So you will be directly logged in as a root. It might ask you for the password and then you will be logged in as a root. If you click on this here, you will be logged in as a user that as the user that you are currently logged in. So if you are say user called Ashish, then you will be logged in to the discover as Ashish only. So you won't be logged in by default as a root, but as Ashish in the discover software center. Now GDB package manager is also not available in the Debian KDE Desktop. So you will have to install this from the Synaptic package manager after the installation of the Debian KDE Desktop is done. So here it is already provided by default. Then Grub Customizer is also not available, but it is provided here in the SpiralLinux KDE Desktop. It is not available in the Debian KDE Desktop. Then HPLib toolbox. So that is also not available. You have to install it separately after the main installation of the system is done. HTOP is also not available. You have to do it after the installation of Debian Linux KDE Desktop is done. So here in SpiralLinux, these all softwares are provided by default. KDE partition manager is there, console is there, K system guard is there, K system log is also there, K wallet manager is also there, multi-writer is also not there. So this is a very handy utility to write multiple USB with the selected ISO image. And you got the Synaptic package manager. Synaptic package manager is there. Yes, it is there, available in the KDE Desktop. Now let us go to the utilities. So here you find that Arc is there. The Arc is archiving tool. You got the disk. I think this is the GDisk to manage the drives and media. Emoji selector. Emoji selector is there in Debian KDE Desktop also. Firmware. So this firmware is not available in Debian KDE Desktop, but it is available here in the SpiralLinux KDE Desktop. So Kate is there. Kcalc is also there. Kfind I don't remember, but maybe it is there. Onboard is not there by default in the Debian KDE Desktop, but it is available in the SpiralLinux KDE Desktop. Onboard settings and spectacle is also, yes, it is available in the Debian KDE Desktop. Same way it is available here in the SpiralLinux Desktop also. And lost and found, you got the language support to configure the local system for additional languages. Snapper GUI. So this Snapper GUI front end for snapshot to manager, and the Snapper GUI admin snapper settings as root. So these two options are available for the Snapper GUI. The Snapper GUI is not available in the Debian KDE Desktop as a default, because Debian uses ext4 file system as a default, and so Snapper is not there. Snapper can be used wherever you have got the Btrfs file system. So SpiralLinux uses Btrfs file system as a default, and so the snapper is provided by default in the ISO. So this is a addition, and of course the firmware and the extra codecs have already been installed by default in SpiralLinux. So now what we will do is we will go one by one and check out the different extra softwares that are available as default in SpiralLinux. So let us check out the Grub Customizer. Okay, so permission has been denied. Okay, so I am not okay. So now I will have to insert myself as a root in this wheel group. Otherwise, I won't be able to use login to the Grub Customizer. Okay, so now let us check out. Okay, I got it. So finally I made. So here, what is the Grub Customizer? It helps you to customize the Grub. So whenever you log in, you see a list of options for the login. So here you can customize those. So when we started the system, when we spin up the virtual machine, you saw on the screen Debian SpiralLinux, GNU Linux, and then there was an option for the advanced options for the Debian. So in the advanced options, if you click on the sub menu, you will be shown these four options. So the main option, first option is Debian SpiralLinux Plasma GNU Linux with the Linux 5.18 BPO, that is the backports kernel. So it is the latest kernel. Then you have got the recovery mode for the same kernel, and then you have got the older stable kernel, that is 5.10. And there is another option with the stable kernel with the recovery mode. So recovery mode stable kernel is there. So total four options were there. So you can change the you can say we can change the ascending and descending order of this menu. So for example, if I can move it up, so the first option will be recovery mode. So I will go in the recovery mode. Suppose you are repairing the system and you need to restart again and again, then you can change the ascending descending order of the these options and make the recovery mode the first option. So like this you can do. You can change this. Then there is a general setting. So the default entry, you can predefine a default entry. Say this is my default entry. So every time I will start the system, the Debian SpiralLinux Plasma GNU Linux, the first option will be the predefined entry, and system without any inputs, it will directly boot into this. Or you can define the previously booted entry. So the in previous login, if I have done entry with the Debian GNU Linux recovery mode 5.10 recovery mode, the next time also system will go in the 5.10 kernel recovery mode only. So this is how you can do it. So by default it should be first entry. Then the visibility show the menu. If I click on this and turn it off, turn off the tick box, then this grub menu won't be shown. So you will not be able to select the option from the menu. If I if I turn off this tick box, then the OS probe will not look for the other operating systems. It will directly boot into the Linux. And if I uncheck this tick box, then the boot default entry will not be started. After 10 seconds it will be immediately started. And you can also increase or decrease the delay for the booting into the default boot entry. And you can also show the kernel parameters. So this is quite log level 1 splash, so there will be no verbose shown during the startup. Else you can have the log level. Say I will do a log level of say 2. and then there are different predefined log levels, so it will show you the verbose up till the log level 2, and then there is an option to generate recovery entries. So if you untick this, then the recovery entries won't be generated automatically. Let me make it again 0. Okay. Now in the appearance settings, you can change the font, like say right now it is normal font, light gray. You can change it to any color. So you can make it magenta. Okay, the magenta is already there. So let us make it light cyan. Then you got the normal background. It is transparent and black right now. You can change it. You can have it any background. Say you can do it light gray also. Then you got the highlighted font at magenta, highlighted background as transparent black. So you can do any change. The different color options are available. You can choose any one from them. You can also choose a custom resolution. You can choose a theme. So there right now I think no themes are there installed, but you can install the Grub themes, and then those Grub themes will be shown here. So you can choose the Grub theme of your choice from here. Then you can also choose a background image to be shown. You can choose the font also. So let us use sans bold, or maybe you can use sans regular. So this is how the Grub fonts will look. Okay, so now it is chosen deja vu sans book. Okay, please choose a background image. So you can choose any background image if it is of course available. Okay, so I think you got the idea of how the Grub Customizer works. Now you can click on this option install to MBR. So this Grub Customizer will be installed to MBR. You can change the environment. You can save it. You can quit without saving. Then you got the edit option. You got the refresh option. You can show and hide the some certain entries. You can group by script. You can show placeholders. So different things are there available. So you can refresh it. So this Grub Customizer has been refreshed, and now you can save it also. So I will not save, I will just quit. So save and quit without saving option. Okay, I don't want to disturb the system right now. Okay, now let us go ahead. Now the onboard settings I need not show you. Now let us go and check out the software and updates. So why it is running like this? Okay, I will just close it once. I will go back and I will do it again. It is not allowing me sometimes, so there is some issue. Okay. Okay, what I will do is let us check out the Synaptic package manager first. Okay, so this is the Synaptic package manager. Let us check out if any upgrades are available. Okay, so the upgrades are available. You can see a big list of updates is there. This is big in sense of Debian. So in other systems, Ubuntu and other Linux distros, the list is normally very large, but this is also big for Debian. Debian only use out updates that are very critical, only critical and recommended updates. No undue updates are there, no extra updates for your applications. Only those that are required and those that are working perfectly are only released. So you can mark the updates and then you can apply those updates. So 46 packages will be upgraded. You can see the size 172 MB only to be downloaded. So this is the typical big update that is pushed in the Debian stable. So let us do the system update. So you can see how the stable the Debian is. Only necessary updates are issued, no unnecessary updates, no pushing with the newer software, so things don't break in Debian. You see the installation where I am doing this video, it has been installed since last 5-6 months. Nothing has happened, it is working perfectly. Only the required updates, only the point releases come. Okay, now meanwhile we will try to it is not allowing me to do that. I am already administrator, then why I am not able to use log into the this software and updates? I don't understand. I should be able to log in. So now let us try to, okay. Okay, we can do, yes, we can check out the repositories from here also in the settings. I will show you how to do that. Let the installation complete. In the SpiralLinux ISOs, the root user is disabled. So the user that you configure during the installation is given the administration privileges, or it is added in the admin group automatically, but and the root is disabled. So by that process, already the user Sam should have been sudo. It is already, I can see it in the this settings that it is a administration or the sudo users, or the G wheel group is there. It is already in the wheel group. You can see here the user Sam, it is already in the wheel group. Administrator group is called the wheel group, so it is already there. But yet I am not able to log in this software and updates. So what I will do is, instead of login there, we can check out the repos here also in Synaptic package manager. So I will show you the repos. I just wanted to show you what the repos are enabled by default in SpiralLinux as compared to the Debian. So you will get an idea of exactly what is different in Debian versus the SpiralLinux. So we just wait for the updates to complete. I just wanted to show you so what exact kind of updates will be available in SpiralLinux, because many times the modern systems have got more updates than the base Linux distro. So Ubuntu has got more updates coming to the user than Debian. Pop OS has even more updates, or a same level of updates like Ubuntu coming, because it is based on Ubuntu. Pop OS is based on Ubuntu, and Ubuntu in turn is based on Debian. So you got lot of updates in Pop OS and Ubuntu as compared to the Debian. So I just wanted to check out. So and any extra updates are there. So it should not be there, and it is like that only because it is very lightly modded system, Spiral Linux, as compared to Ubuntu or Pop OS. So the developer has added only the necessary tweaks to the system. Instead of tweaking it a lot, it has just keep the tweaks to minimize, just to make the Debian more friendly to the users, especially the new users. The hardcore or the seasoned users will always choose Debian, but if the new users want to get introduced to Debian, they can start it easily using the Spiral Linux. Once they got habituated to Spiral Linux, then they can step to Debian later. So it is taking some time. Okay, so the installation is complete. Now let us check out the repositories. So you can see the repositories here also, instead of going to software and updates. So I was not directly able to log into the software and updates. There was some issue with the sudo, but here you can do it. So now here you can see the Debian software. So officially supported main. So these are the main repository of the Debian. It is enabled by default. Then the DFSG compatible software with the non-free dependencies, that is the contributory dependencies. So this is the contributory software. So that is enabled. Now you can see here non-DFSG compatible software, that is the non-free software is still disabled. So we can enable this. So this is I wanted to check out what is available in Spiral Linux. And now the source code is disabled, so there is no need of source code to be downloaded every time for the general user. Only source code is required when you want to build a new system based on Debian, or you want to do some debugging or development work. So for the general user, source code repository should be disabled. Now the download server is the main server. Now what happens is main server normally gets flooded with requests for the downloads, so it slows down. So better is you go with the server that is available in your country. For me it is server for India. I will select this. Then let us check out the software, other software. So here the Debian Bullseye Backports repository, that is the main contrib non-free is enabled. So that is I will also enable this. Okay, so what they have done is they have kept this non-free non-DSG compatible software. It was not selected, but here they have selected the backport. So directly you will get the non-free software from the backports. That is the latest versions will be available. So this way it is better. So I will keep this disable. Otherwise the stable updates for the non-free software will come. But here what the developer has done is he has enabled this non-free software from the backport. So you get the latest versions of the non-free software. Then you have got the Bullseye fast track for the virtual box. This is the I think repository for the virtual box. So that has been enabled. Then there is the Bullseye fast track staging, Bullseye backport staging, main contrib non-free. So this has also been enabled. So okay. Debian Stable for upgrades has to be enabled only during the upgrade from one major version to another. So say suppose Debian 12 is released next year, then you want to upgrade your Spiral Linux to Debian 12, you have to disable all the three first here, enable only this, do one upgrade. After the upgrade is complete, check whether all the packages for the upgrade that were available have been installed. Then you open this and then you again disable the Debian Stable for upgrades repo, and then enable again this three repos given in the top. So that way you can do the update. So that is given in the manual on the SpiralLinux web page. So you can check that out. And the Debian testing, Debian unstable is also disabled by default. So you have to keep that disabled unless and until you want to check out the Debian testing, or you can you want to migrate to Debian testing or the unstable branch. So then only you have to enable this. Otherwise, don't do it. And the updates by default are on for security updates and recommended updates. Automatically check for updates never, so change it to weekly. That is good enough. When there are security updates, display immediately, so you can download if you want, or you can delay the download to the time suitable for you. And authentication, these are all the JPG keys. And the developer options, proposed updates should always be kept off if you want the stability of the system. Otherwise you can do it. If you want to do the testing work, you can do this, or you can be, you can say, contributor to the testing of proposed updates. You can enable this. Otherwise, for general users, keep this off. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to close this. So this will save the settings, and now it will ask you to reload the repository. So you have to say yes. Okay, failed to. Okay, there is some issue. I think this was this was the same issue that I had encountered that day when we were doing the installation of KDE Desktop using the export install method like the Taxel and Synaptic packages. This was same message. I now remember this was the same message. So some repositories are not available. That is the issue, and that is only, I think, for the Indian server. For the main server, that is not an issue. Let us check this out again. So what we will do is, let us go back. Okay, here in the update section where it was. Okay, here you again revert to the main server and then again reload the repositories. Now you can see there is no error message. So this is working. So now I got the trouble why we were not able to successfully install KDE using the expert install methods like Taxel or the Synaptic package manager, because that day we had changed from the main server to the Indian server and the issue was there. So the FTP, I think 2 repos are not available from the FTP site of Indian mirror. So that is the issue. So now I think our heads are clear. What was the exact issue? Why didn't the expert install method work? Okay, so now let us again mark the upgrades, because you see, whenever we do the update of the repositories, some packages will be available for not always, but sometimes the new packages are available. So here you can see the Blues firmware, that is the Bluetooth manager, and the Broadcom STA common. I think this is some firmware. So those two are available for installation. So we mark them for installation, and then you have to apply the installation. So 195 KB is to be downloaded. So that is not a big size. So I have shown you the repositories and how what is the trouble we had encountered during the expert install. So now things are clear. So don't change over to the Indian repository. Better stay with the main server, or you can change it over to any other repository, any other mirror of other country, but don't do it for the main server India, because there is some issue with the 2 repos, I think. Okay, so it is taking some time. Okay, so now I think I will close this down, or you do want to check out. Let us do mark changes. Okay, so there are no broken packages, so I will close this down anyway. Now anything to be checked? Let us check. Okay, you check this also checked. Okay, so now let us check out the Htop. So you can see here 1 GB RAM usage is there. Swap is around 2.25 MB. Just nominal usage of swap is there. And in the processor usage, you can see processor usage is around 0.76%. So that is very light on system. So no CPU usage is there. 80 tasks are running. 185 threads are there. So it is consistent. Only little bit higher RAM usage than the Debian. The Debian will use around 750 to 800 MB of RAM when the fresh install is done. Here it is using above 900 to 1 GB of RAM, so that is acceptable. This is a derivative Linux. It is not the main Linux. So this, because of the tweaks or maybe some other packages are there, the updates was, yes, the software manager was also running in background because we did an update. So Synaptic package manager might be still on. So Synaptic package manager will use the RAM. So because of that, the RAM usage is higher right now. But if you close the Synaptic package manager, it will reduce by 100 to 200 MB. It will reduce. Okay, so I will close this down. Now let us go ahead and check if anything is pending. We have checked the HTTP KDE partition may not need. You already know. K system guard. Let us check out. Okay, what the K system monitor is telling us. CPU usage is 1 to 7%. Memory 836. So here it is showing less. So we will believe K system guard because it is part of system. So it will show you the exact RAM usage. So it is around 836 MB out of the 3.8. Swap is, yes, it is, swap is matching the figures of Htop. So you can go with this. So it is quite similar to the Debian KDE Desktop RAM usage. Okay, so now you can see the highest usage of memory. So KV and XORG Spice VDA agent is there. Okay, so the software center is not working. So otherwise we could have seen it. Discover. Okay, so Discover is not working. Now let us check out if Synaptic package manager is there. So it is also not working. So this RAM usage is okay. We cannot go below this. Okay, now let us check out anything else. System log. I will not show you this multi-letter. It is very common. I have shown it many times earlier. So that's it. And the HP lib toolbox is there. So I will show you this time. So there is no printer device to set up. But here you can. Okay, what I will do is in one of the my next video I will configure my desktop printer and I will show you how the HP device manager works. So I will close this down. Later in some other video I will show you, because the printer is not available in this room, it is there in other room. I will have to go there and then it will disturb the video. So one of my videos I will show you how this HP device manager works. We can have a separate video, 20-30 minutes video on the HP toolbox, HP facts and everything. Okay, then I think we have, yes, one, good. So the snapper GUI, let us check out the snapper GUI that was pending. This is important. So now you can see after the installation, already 2 snaps have been taken. So one snap has been taken when the system got installed and we booted for the first time. So there was a first snap. The second snap happened when we did the update. So there was a snap before the update and there will be a snap after the update. So total of you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 snaps are there. So suppose it happens that you install certain software during the update, and then there is a issue with the system. You can just roll back. You can select the snap, and just you can then just roll back. Let us check out the desktop wallpaper. So what wallpapers are there? So default wallpaper is Zopper green div. You can have the Zop. Okay, the only both are Zopper green only. So there is not much to select as a wallpaper from the desktop folder settings. So you can download the wallpapers. Let us check out. So this is, I think, all the typical KDE stuff. KDE wallpapers will be there. So nothing new. I thought maybe they got a host of different wallpapers with the SpiralLinux branding or such thing, but no, it is not there. Okay, so some nature photography is there. Let us check out the wallpapers KDE Plasma and the most downloaded first. Let us see what happens. Okay, so we install these two wallpapers, Edna Light by George. Hope they get installed quickly. Or you can check this wallpaper, how it looks. This is the default KDE wallpaper. KDE wallpaper for Debian. Okay, and then I will try this out. Okay, this looks good. So that's it. Not much wallpapers from SpiralLinux. Only the default KDE Debian KDE desktop wallpaper is there, and two wallpapers from the SpiralLinux. Not more than that. So with this note, I will stop the video here. In the next video, we will do the review of SpiralLinux LXQT desktop. So LXQT desktop also there was some problem during the expert install. Though the expert install succeeded, there was problem with the SDDM, that is the simple desktop display manager. So SDDM is part of KDE. So because we were facing issues with the KDE, the SDDM also there was a issue. So I could not what we can say the KD this LXQT desktop also was not working properly. But so now what I have done is I have downloaded the LXQT ISO given on the SpiralLinux website, and then I installed the LXQT desktop separately, and I will do a detailed review of the LXQT desktop for SpiralLinux. So thank you very much. See you in the next video.